Hi! In this quick video, I want to show you 5 simple things in price psychology that you can use to make your prices seem more attractive. Let's get into it. Number 1. Ego pricing. In one crazy study, researchers were able to match prices to people's birthdays and found that it increased purchase likelihood. They offered a pasta dinner for $39, and in the description they just told people about what that dinner would entail, but when it came to presenting the actual price that people would pay to get this pasta dinner, they got a little tricky. For some people, they changed the price a little bit so that it matched their birthday. So if the participant was an April 15th baby, well then, the cost of the pasta dinner would be $39.15. When it came time for them to say how likely they would be to purchase this pasta dinner, the people who saw a price with their birthday in it reported 23% greater likelihood of purchasing that product, just because it matched their birthday. Number 2, the comma effect. In another study, researchers did something really simple. They just presented people with prices that either had commas in them or not. So, for example, the price $1,342 to some people would look like this, and to other people would look like this. And the question is, does that change anything about how they perceive the price? Yes, it does. It turns out that when there was a comma in the price, people perceived it as being 11% bigger relative to the non-comma price. So, keep those commas out of your prices if you want to make it look a little bit lower. Number 3, the relative size effect. Let's say you wanted to discount your product. You would show people what the price used to be, and then show them what the price is now. But how do you present those prices? Well, some research has looked at whether you should make the sale price really big to draw people's attention to it, or make the sale price really small, because after all, you want people to think it's a small number relative to the original price. And what they find is that the version where it's really small is the optimal version. People report greater purchase likelihood when they present the sale price in relatively small font, because it signals people to think of it as a smaller number. Number 4. Consolidated surcharges. Let's say you have a product and you have to charge an additional fee for shipping and handling and a further additional fee for tax. What do? Well, the research shows that rather than leave those two surcharges separate, like this, you should combine them together into one lump surcharge, even if it looks as though that surcharge is bigger. Finally, number 5, high five, the descending order effect. In one study, some researchers infiltrated a bar, if only all researchers could be so lucky. And what they did is for an 8-week period in the bar, they just got them to use different beer menus every other week. On some weeks, they would list the beers on the menu in ascending order from the least expensive beer down to the most expensive. And on other weeks, they would list the beers in the opposite order, starting with the most expensive and going down to the least expensive. And what they found is on the weeks where the beers were listed in descending order, starting at the most expensive, people chose more expensive beers on average compared to the weeks where the same beers were listed in the opposite order. On average, people had spent almost 24 cents more per beer in the descending order condition compared to the ascending order condition. And over those 2 months, the bar sold more than 1,000 bottles of beer. So that 24 cents really does add up. So there you have it. 5 studies from price psychology that may change the way you think about prices. If you found these interesting and compelling and you gotta know more, click on the link under this video to be taken to my full online course about price psychology. We'll cover all these things in greater detail, plus a ton more pricing strategies that you can use in your own marketing efforts. In fact, if you use the link that's below this particular video, you'll get a certain percentage off of the total cost of the course. And did I choose that percentage based on price psychology? Yeah, of course I did. I'll see you next time.